which determines what kind of policy issues will or won't get addressed either in city council or the legislature, which affects everybody who's living in the state. So I know a lot of you have talked about, we heard a little bit earlier about TIFs. I know you have an education working group, a housing working group. All of those issues, whether you're fighting for more affordable housing or more equitable school funding, all have to do with redistricting. Go to the next one. Because all of the issues that are important to our communities are largely impacted by our efforts to be able to pass policies to address those issues. To pass those policies, we need to be able to advocate our legislators who are elected through the elections, which are largely determined by the districts that are drawn through redistricting, which impacts communities. So even though we don't talk about redistricting, I bet if we left the library and asked somebody on the street, what is redistricting, do they care? You know, they'd likely say no, but it actually impacts everything that we do, from when we leave the house in the morning to when we come home. So, like I said, it's one of the most important political processes that happens in the state, but very few people know about how it works, let alone participate in the process. So I'm going to talk about state level redistricting, because I know that you all have been working on drawing a state district for Englewood. So it goes to the legislature, and the legislature, like a piece of legislation, a bill, the legislature is supposed to pass a redistricting map by the end of the legislation, which is May 31st this year. Oftentimes they fail to do so because they can't agree on a map. In 2001, they weren't able to pass a redistricting map to the legislature. So it went to what they call a redistricting commission, which is 4 Republicans and 4 Democrats on a commission. They need 5 votes, which means a Republican has to cross the line or a Democrat has to cross the line to pass a map, which didn't happen in 2001 either. And so what literally happened is it goes to what they call a 50-50, where they put 1 Republican's name in a hat, 1 Democrat's name in a hat, they pick a name out of the hat, and that person got to draw the map.
Oh, wow.
So in 2001, they put 2 names in a replica of Abraham Lincoln's old hat. They had this big pomp and circumstance kind of ceremony at the old state capitol, picked Barbara Flynn Curry's name out of the hat, and that's why our redistricting map is called Curry.
Oh, wow.
So nowhere in that process did you hear me say the word community, leaders, any of that kind of stuff, right? It's completely in the legislature's hands, and again, it becomes a process where they draw a map for their own interests, not for the interests of voters or communities. So that's why we want to be involved. Just to give you a little bit of an idea about how districts are drawn, and the rules for drawing districts. So, you can turn that around, I'll just bounce around the rotation, let me skip around a bit. The first rule is equal population, meaning each district has to have the same number of people.
Uh-oh.
Is there a way to see it with the whole presentation on the side?